Report 53, this is so shocking I can barely bring myself to say it. 77% of cardiovascular adverse events from Pfizer's mRNA COVID shot occurred in women as well as in people under age 65. Additionally, 2 minors in the Pfizer documents suffered cardiac events. The bullet points are even more shocking. This is from 5.3.6 document, and cumulative analysis of post-authorization adverse event reports. And some of the highlights are half of the cardiovascular adverse events, meaning heart damage, right, were reported in the first 24 hours post-injection. Please absorb that. Half of them happened within a day after getting injected. There were 136 deaths, which equates to nearly 10% of all of the affected patients. 1 in 10 died of the patients who were affected. Of the total of 1,403 patients, 946, or 66%, had severe adverse events. Even as horrible as these numbers are, Pfizer gamed even worse numbers by excluding from the heart-related adverse events the categories of myocarditis and pericarditis. They peeled them out of this column of cardiovascular events, even though by now we all know that myocarditis and pericarditis are heart damage. We know that. Instead, they reported those adverse events under a totally separate category, immune-mediated autoimmune category, and that artificially lowered these numbers. So as horrible as these numbers are, they're artificially lower than they really were. 1 child and 1 adolescent suffered cardiovascular adverse events, but Pfizer did not provide any details of what happened to these minors. These children were also not included in Pfizer's pediatric report. Did they experience heart attacks? Does the Food and Drug Administration even know about these cases? Remember, these 2 kids got hurt in the custody of the FDA. And this was before and during the FDA and the CDC rolling it out for kids, rolling it out for kids, rolling it out for kids. They knew 2 children had heart attacks. A much younger population, ages 18 to 64 years, made up the bulk of adverse event cases in this category, 77%. This is completely anomalous, according to our cardiologist experts. Cardiovascular disease, they point out, is typically a hallmark of age. Why were there so many cardiovascular events, side effects in younger adults? And lastly, the gender split. I mean, this is yet another category in which women are almost 3/4 of the people who are hurt. Cardiovascular adverse events in the Pfizer documents occurred more than 3 times as often in women. 1,076 women were injured as opposed to 291 men, and 36 were unreported.